Welcome to this quick tech video. My name is Aaron Silverman, a support specialist here at VirtuWorks. Today I'm going to kick off a mini-series of videos regarding the management of your IT resources through the VirtuWorks Proprietary MSP Control Panel. These guided self-help segments will help office managers and delegated staff carry out simple IT-specific tasks, including password changes, creating and managing distribution groups, access to endpoints, web folder management, but also much more. Combined with the MSP agent, it is possible to manage nearly all aspects of a company's users, from direct access to user PCs to adding and removing access to specific resources. For many functions to work properly, the end user should be logged into the MSP agent with their email address and password in their own local profile. See our video on the topic, Installing MSP Control, for more information. A properly configured and connected agent will maintain persistent access to all of the resources assigned to that user. Cloud folders, remote applications, antivirus, locally installed software packages, remote access capabilities, and can be used to dictate specific settings across a range of PCs. Let's get started with our topic for today, accessing and navigating the MSP control panel. Firstly, the decision maker for the organization will have to request a peer account for the specified user and what level of access that user will be assigned. A user can be assigned access to manage only one or a specific number of resources. For example, an HR manager could be assigned permissions to change passwords, add or remove access to cloud folders, and distribution groups. If a user in the organization has already been granted a full peer account, they can in turn create new peer accounts to delegate tasks. From within the CP, you can find the peer section towards the top of the main page under the heading System. Clicking on the icon will load the peer accounts panel and all the current accounts will be listed. The information is split into 6 columns and all the information is also very straightforward. Clicking the Create Peer Account button will create a new user account. On the first line, we create a username. As this account is separate from the traditional account for users, it is best not to match the convention chosen for the standard accounts, such as the ubiquitous first initial and last name that is most common. Instead, consider using a first name and last initial or a job title. This user must be unique, so if you receive a notice that the name is already in use, add a number to the end or consider a different username. Create a decent password with at least 8 characters using a mix of upper and lowercase characters, at least one number, and at least one special character like an exclamation point, a pound sign, a dollar sign, or even the star. Moving further down the page, we can add a photo for the user and/or set the option to prevent password expiration. Next, we set the peer role with a drop-down menu. Customer admin is the typical choice, but if it's the intention to create a role-specific peer account, please contact VirtuWorks to create new peer roles based on the current necessity. Further down, we see the typical account creation options, name, email address, and etc. Leave the email format set to HTML. Under login status, a user's account can be enabled or disabled if access is only required over a certain time period, or it can be locked out to prevent access for any reason. The section labeled two-factor authentication is where the DFA method can be set. SMS is the default option and will use the short message service, aka a text message, to send the user a code. There's an option to change to an email address or to use the Google Authenticator app. Choosing email will send a code via email. Pretty straightforward. The Google Authenticator is an app that can be added to a mobile device via the App Store for that particular brand, like the Apple App Store or Google Play Store. If the authenticator method is chosen as the two-factor provider, a QR code will be displayed after saving the user, or if you've changed the method on an existing user. Once the QR code is displayed, open the app and click the plus sign to add an account. Choose the bottom option, Other, that includes Google, Facebook, and etc. And the app will launch the camera. Center the code in the camera view and the app will set up the account. A new entry will show in the list displaying the name of the peer account you just assigned. Below is the code that will need to be entered each time you authenticate the account. The code is on a timer and will change every 30 seconds. In the contact information section, the most important information to add is the mobile phone number. This is how the system will attempt to send SMS messages with the authentication code during login. If the number has changed, or you are changing the account from one user to another, be sure to update all appropriate fields, name, email address, and mobile number, then click Save Changes and exit. Once the peer account has been assigned, that username will be used to log into the VirtuWorks control panel. As mentioned, VirtuWorks requires DFA, dual factor authentication, meaning that once you've successfully entered your password, you'll be challenged with a code request. This is the code that will have either been texted to you, or emailed to you, or even listed in the Google Authenticator app next to the timer. Entering this code will grant access to your company's management portal. Now that the user is authenticated, the main page of the control panel, or CP for brevity, is displayed. The CP is organized in a logical fashion with all the main sections displayed in the darkened panel on the left, also referred to as the navigation pane or nav pane. Each of these headings link to a subdirectory and will list all the resources within the scope of that heading. All resources are displayed in the center portion of the screen when you're on the account homepage, each with an appropriate labeled icon and separated by the sections that correspond to the headings. This is the quickest way to get to a specific portion of the CP, but if a page needs to be accessed from anywhere within another portion of the CP, they can be accessed using the navigation pane on the left. The list will display every module that the user can access based on the level of access delegated to them. Clicking on any of the icons or links will open the corresponding page where the settings can be modified or further subcategories can be accessed. We've gone into further detail with the panels available to peer users within the control panel that will be highlighted in the next 3 videos. Be sure to check the VirtuWorks YouTube channel for more videos in the series or for other self-guided help topics. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already and hit the notification bell to be alerted when new content is posted. Again, my name is Aaron and I thank you for joining us.